You cannot lose your mind because you need it in order to make it through this and to the next level of your life. Welcome back to the Andrew Adventure. What an adventure it is. I am Dr. Ben Andrew, and there's some things to talk about. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, send this to somebody in a text message. Let them know that Dr. Ben's talking about mental health and job loss. We are certainly in unprecedented times. What people see on the news, the statistics, the job loss, how much money is being saved, Medicare getting cut, those in vulnerable communities being negatively affected, it almost can get overwhelming. I have several friends who are federal employees and they're going to work not knowing what to expect. Some have went to work and realized they couldn't log on anymore because they've been terminated. Some have gone to work and found out after a nice lunch break. Whatever the case, this is no way to live. Whenever you have this much uncertainty, it has an impact not just on us, but also on those we love. I want to share some insights in this video to help you to be able to navigate this mentally. This isn't being talked about. And because it isn't being talked about, I'll be the one to speak life to this matter. I just want to give you a few stats here to underscore the importance of this topic. Increased depression rates among the unemployed. It says that unemployed adults in the United States experience depression at a rate approximately 3 times higher than their employed counterparts. The duration of unemployment and depression. Individuals unemployed for a year or more are twice as likely to undergo treatment for depression compared to those unemployed for 5 weeks or less. And the National Institutes of Health report that individuals who lost their jobs after March 1st, 2020 reported more than twice the number of mentally unhealthy days compared to those who remained employed. I have concerns. I have concerns for federal employees. I have concerns for people who begin to feel the division and feel the weight of whatever is happening in our nation right now. I have concerns, and my concern involves caring for the well-being of my neighbor. We operate on that principle in my house. Love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. If you know someone who is challenged with the potential of job loss right now, send them this video. Someone who lost their job, someone who's facing difficulty economically, send them this video. If you are in a position to where you are planning to get out there in the job market, if you're in the position now where you were laid off, fired, let go, you decided to leave because of culture and so on, these things may help you. First thing I need you to do is take control over what you allow to get into here through the eye gate. Yeah, the eye gate, where things enter into the mind by what you visually see, and also the ear gate by what you can hear. Someone sent me a video and he said, "Hey man, I want you to watch this." And I said, "No, I can't look at that because the headline says something about federal employees. And right now, that's a sensitive subject for me. I can't look at that right now." You have to take control because certain topics will resonate with you in such a way that it triggers some type of trauma. So in the moment of embracing my peace and having rest and actually enjoying the day, I didn't want to interrupt it with some soundbite. That also goes into certain conversations that you cannot have in moments where you're striving to build from and to become better. Yeah, certain conversations, certain topics. When MSNBC released the video, when I was sharing my story, there's several people reached out and called. Some reached out and said, thank you. Thank you for speaking well of what we do as federal employees. But then there was others who called with this argumentative tone. And I said, hey, man, I appreciate you, but not right now. We're good right now. You even have to control it there, whether it's family members, whether it's coworkers, people you love and care about. Sometimes You just have to take that aggressive approach and say, not right now. The next thing, for those of you who are out there on the job market, there's one taboo reality that's out there. You are going to hear no. You're going to get rejected from some jobs. You're going to get rejected from jobs you qualify for. You are going to be the best candidate for a job and you're going to get rejected. It happens. All of us have went through it, but you must not take it personal. Don't take it personal. Put yourself in the mental space to know that rejection is nothing but redirection. If I didn't get that job, it must be because there's a better one for me. And that has to be your affirmation. If you allow every rejection email, whether it be automated response, some type of AI generated response, you've tailored your resume perfectly. You've done that job. Don't marry a job description. Don't marry the potential for a job because it'll let you know that this relationship never happened. So you must see it as redirection. If I didn't get this one, there must be something better. Allow it to encourage you. Allow it to encourage you in such a way where you see that, all right, one down, that means this next one. And always have hope for the next one. You can never give up on the hope for the next one. When I left the military, I was very concerned about what type of job I would get into. And I was looking at the statistics, and those who were in the military with me, some of them demonized the civilian sector and said, man, it's tough out there. The economy sucks. We just came out of the recession. I got out in 2011. So around 2008, things were happening with the housing market and so on. I was nervous. I was severely nervous, so nervous that it impacted my search. I was so nervous that on interviews, I was almost desperate and couldn't really be myself. So it was a lot of rejection until I stumbled upon a military veteran, a gentleman by the name of Dave Howard, down in New Orleans, NASA facility. He understood that military to civilian transition. Sometimes it takes someone to understand what you're going through. And if there's someone in your network, if that's someone who can identify and say, hey, I've been in that position, be grateful for the fact that they gave you a chance. Shout out to Mr. Dave Howard down in New Orleans. Lastly, I need you to keep your head up. Yeah, keep your head up. Keep your chin held high. And know that whatever happened, happened. But there's brighter paths ahead. Never give up on the fact that you have life today. And every new morning, you have another chance to do this thing better than you did yesterday. So don't allow what happened in the past to prevent the possibility of what can happen in your future. Keep your head held high. Stay positive through this transition. If you have to control it by not talking to certain people, do that. If you have to control it by not reading certain messages, by turning the channel, by deleting somebody on social media, do that. I hope you have a good support system. I have a great support system, and I'm very grateful. Aside from the fact that our spiritual base is rooted in the Lord, we have people here who are supporting us through this transition. And I don't mean financial support. I mean people who are just calling and say, hey, we're rooting for you. People who are employing action. Shout out to my entire chain of command. Shout out to the great people at the Philadelphia VA. I can certainly name Susan. You know who you are. I can certainly name Joe. I can certainly name Kaneen. I can name Bob and Karen and Jenny. I can certainly name people who have been near and dear through this process, who don't have to call, but they call to say, listen, we're rooting for you. We're checking on you. People who just sent messages to say, hey, I'm praying for you. And that's appreciative because there's a lot of negativity out there. But that support system is everything. Those of you who've been through job loss, sometimes you transition from one job and people treat you as if you were a gang member that left the gang. You're no longer a part of the family. I thought we were friends here. But you would really see who's for you in the moments of despair, and their presence is worth everything. I just ask you to be that to someone because you never know what you may be doing to help them to get out of a pit of despair. Always remember this, friend. You cannot lose your mind because you need it in order to make it through this and to the next level of your life. Go ahead and say that. I cannot lose my mind because I need it in order to make it through this and to the next level of my life.